Oh, all right. Well, there we are. That is the Double Bay Sanctuary, which we are creating the retirement home for Corky. And I want to first off say that the area around that is traditional territory of the Namgis First Nation and some other First Nations as well. And it's also the area of the home waters of over 300 of the northern resident orcas, including Corky's family. And just a couple of miles away on Hansen Island is Orca Lab that the guy was just talking about, and which Paul Spong founded over 50 years ago. And we will see Paul in the Corky documentary that's coming right up. So, can you do the advance? All right. So, this is the location of Hansen Island up there by Port McNeil. And that's where the sanctuary is. And you see where it says this by the star, Pender Harbor. That's where Corky was captured in 1969. So next. And about 5 years ago, I found out that this former fishing lodge at Double Bay was up for sale, and was actually Christine Caruso who told me about it. And she had already started making the Corky documentary at that time. So that's what it looked like with the keep out sign and all. And, it was in really rough shape, but it had all the essentials to create the infrastructure for a sanctuary in this beautiful protected bay. So at that time I had the money and I said, I just got to go for it. So I bought it and we just went right to work to rebuild it. But first of all, I took the keep out sign down. I had to go. So, okay, next slide. So we went right to work. There were many rotted out foundations and decks. So we rebuilt a lot of those. We're going to move pretty fast now through this. And there's a rebuilt deck. Next. And we did some build on extensions. This is an add-on bedroom on the owner's cabin. And when we completed that, we added the hot tub, which the crew really appreciates that, and it gets a lot of use. So next, we cleared many piles of junk like this, okay? And we installed over 17 kilowatts of solar power with battery storage, and now we are completely solar powered. Right on. So anyways, I just want to say we really aim to have a very clean and green operation there. And along those lines, we pulled out 2 old rusted out septic tanks that were discharging into the bay, and we can't have that. So we are replacing it with a new composting toilet and gray water system. It's a huge, huge job, but we're going at it. And that shows where we had to bring over 900 bags of concrete out there, all by boat. And next. And this is the crew pouring the foundation for a curing shed for our new system and all these walkways and everything. Okay. And that's the shed being built now. It's under construction. Okay. And we have rebuilt 2 cabins to house the SeaWorld care team. And go back. Yep. And I don't know if we can see the whole thing, but anyways, You can see there's a kitchen there that was not there. We put in a wood burning stove, and then one of our team painted this really beautiful orca mural, and that was Lisa Larson. Okay. And this is the main lounge with an interpretive center in the background you can see, and a library. Okay. And this is another view of the main lounge. Okay. And this is the kitchen and conference room with a really large kitchen, restaurant type kitchen. Okay. This is the view from the front deck. We've totally refinished those tables and new paint job on the rails. In fact, we've repainted the whole facility, all of it. And those decks that were kind of worn, we're gonna totally refinish those decks too. So this is the layout and the purpose for all the buildings. And this is up on the website, so I don't need to go through the whole thing, but you can get an idea. And on the dock down there, those 4 boats on the right are our boats, and the sailboat belongs to our sanctuary manager, Nicolette. And next, and there is Nicolette with our new team member. That's Isla, getting her sea legs. Okay. This is a rendering of our proposed, it's actually 15 acres now. Originally it was 18, but we've got this nice oval design. It's 15 acres, large enough for 2 orcas. We'd like to have a companion for Corky, would be our real goal. And you can see there's two nettings, so that creates a separation barrier. So Corky and other wild orcas or other marine mammals, they could not make physical contact, and that's to prevent any possibility of transmission of pathogens. And there we are with the design of the netting, and that's projected to be 8-inch Dyneema, which is super strong stuff. Okay. And this is a shot of 2 of Corky's A5 pod family, and that is surf on the right and current on the left. And they are passing right by the entrance to Double Bay, and you can see the facility. And this is to show that we're almost certain that Corky will be in acoustic communication with her pod when they pass by in nearby, right there, it's called Blackfish Sound. So in this way, Corky will be able to reconnect with her family pod through her. We know she's using her A5 dialect, and we verified that she's making A5 calls now. So we know that will take place. Okay. This is a really positive development in the area, and that is the Swanson Island Fish Farm being towed out through Blackfish Sound. Right on. Yeah, and it's part of the phase out of 17 fish farms in the Broughton Archipelago, which has been approved and it's underway and it's going to happen. So it's beautiful. And the next step is going to be, I'll get to who that is. Some of you know. The next step is going to be habitat restoration to help bring back the wild salmon. And we really want to get involved with the habitat restoration. It's the goal of the sanctuary to bring back the wild salmon. So that's something we want to do. And this is Ernest Alfred. He's a Nongese chief who led a 280-day occupation of that Swanson Island fish farm and demanded that it be removed from their First Nation territory. And It just was. That picture was taken only a few months ago of it being towed away. So this is another lady you might know, Alexandra Morton. Yeah. She is amazing, and you know. She played a big part in that phase out of those fish farms with her research on diseases and sea lice in the fish farms that were infecting the wild salmon. So she will actually play quite a role in the Corky documentary. And I should have said that Ernest Alford will also be in the film as well. Okay. So this is the winter wonderland view of the sanctuary. We do get some snow in the winter, but it usually doesn't stay on the ground all that long. But it's quite beautiful. And while you're enjoying that scene, I want to say a little bit about where things stand with SeaWorld. Last year, we started an outreach to SeaWorld, and we requested a meeting to present our full proposal for the retirement of Corky to the sanctuary. And we also offered them an all-expense-paid trip to Double Bay to see the sanctuary. And we did not get a response. So we're now engaged in a second round of outreach and requesting that meeting. And we're trying some different channels of communication, and hopefully it's going to work this time. So that's where it stands at the moment. Okay. And you can see our website. I have 2 nonprofit foundations where we can accept donations. Much appreciated and needed.